Hi, I'm Andrea. Welcome to this 30-minute yoga practice. I'm so glad that you joined me. I'm standing on a yoga mat. If you don't have one, no problem. Someplace with carpet that's not too slippery will be just fine. I do have my chair at the ready. I recommend having one. A couple of blocks. If you don't have blocks, that's fine. Thick books will do the trick. And a folded blanket, which could be the throw blanket from your couch or even a folded bath towel, is great for padding when we come down towards the ground or bring our knees to the ground. Let's get started in Tadasana mountain pose. Feet hip distance, turn your palms away from each other and feel the tiniest hint of an upper back bend. Your chest bone is lifted. Collarbones are wide. Mountain pose is the bedrock of all poses. It's sort of how we walk out in the world too, isn't it? So we find great posture and we find an inward as opposed to distractedly outward turn here. Turning inward and really seeing the internal landscape of who we are right now, instead of looking outward and comparing ourselves to other people. This is all about you. This is for you and of you and about you. Find your breath through your nose in a playful way. Deep inhales. Complete exhales as you stand here in the majesty of your mountain. Turning the arrows of attention inward. Keep the feeling of hips over heels and add to that shoulders over hips over heels. Lean your head back just a little so it's not chin forward, and we have ears over shoulders over hips over heels, and we'll keep that even as we interlace our hands behind our back. Now, if it's sticky, you can hold a dish towel or a strap of some sort between your hands, but let this start to smile your collarbones even more. Draw your low belly in, so we're not letting this become an arch in the low back. We're also not scrunching and tipping the pelvis forward. We stand in the majesty of our mountain with an interlace and a little bit of a back bend. And we breathe. Just feel what you feel. If you're doing it, you're doing it right. 2 more moments here. Release your interlace. And I'm going to show you all different options for where you might go next as we stand in our mountain together. So start with your fists pressing right at the base of your spine. So right at that bony part called the sacrum. Now here's what I want you to be careful of. It's very tempting when you bring your fists together to let this collapse. So stand tall. Let your shoulder blades move a little bit towards each other and smile the collarbones again. This is as far as it needs to go. You might be able to walk your fists up a little bit higher. You might even consider holding your forearms, opposite forearm with opposite hand. Check in once again with your tall, beautiful stance and the smile of your collarbones. There are a few of us who will leave this, take arms out to the side, thumbs facing down. Bend your elbows like our friends who are pressing fists, but this time, place a prayer behind your back. Now, most of us, that's going to be pretty sticky business, and we'd be better off holding our forearms or pressing our fists. Remember, it's a practice and not a performance. So find a place where you can smile, not just your collarbones, but all of you. Low belly lifting. Sticky front body, trying to find a smile. Last couple moments. carefully release your arms, turn the palms away from each other, and step wide, facing the right long edge of your mat, with your arms outstretched and your palms to the sky. We'll use this as an approximate measuring for a pose called Warrior Two. Turn your right leg out so that your right toes face that short edge of your mat, and cheat your left heel back at about a 45-degree angle. Bend your right knee and then play with it. For example, I need to actually go a little bit further forward with my right foot so that I have knee over ankle. If you'd like that too, you're welcome to take a look at your own body as you find that. Interlace your hands behind your back like we just did standing in our mountain, and feel the majesty and the smile. Your right hip is hugging underneath you, and you can probably feel that underneath your interlace, and maybe you have that dish towel between your hands instead. Remember our elegant posture in our mountain. Low belly lifting, crown of the head extending. Your right thigh bone feels like it's moving over to the right as opposed to collapsing over to the left. And you can playfully bend the knee a little bit more. Your left thigh bone feels like it's pressing into your hamstring, like you're standing in your mountain with your back leg. And keep your interlace, just slowly straighten your front leg and feel your right big toe mound press. Unlace your hands and build the prayer behind your back, probably pressing fists together or holding your elbows like we just did in our mountain pose. And now bring that as you bend your front knee and come into your Warrior Two stance with a new form of smile, not just behind your back, but anywhere else. Remind yourself that the right thigh bone is moving to the right. The right hip is hugging underneath you as if it was interested in visiting your left toes. And then see if you're holding your breath. Just hold the pose. Last couple moments here. And once again, slowly straighten your front leg. Release your arms and turn all of your toes to face the long edge of your mat. Just pause for a moment. Let that digest. Second side. Left leg turns all the way so that your left foot's facing the short edge of your mat. It's really happening at the hip joint. And then cheat your right heel at about a 45-degree angle. It's likely that we're pretty well set up on this side since we had this stance on the first side. But palms to the sky, arms outstretched. And then just experiment, bending your left knee, making sure that your ankle is over your knee. Outer edge of your back foot is solid, low belly is lifting. We're standing in the majesty of our mountain, even here as warriors. Another thing we have to do off our mat is be a bit of a warrior, don't you think? Interlace your hands behind your back. Maybe hold your dish towel or your strap. And then let that open the front body a little bit, but we're not collapsing to the low back. Remember, we found that in our mountain. Low belly lift. Left hip is hugging underneath your body as if it's on its way to your right toes. And you're snapping into that left heel. We just have 2 more moments. You're doing great. Slowly straighten that front leg. Use your muscles to do it. Unlace your arms out to the side. We're heading back in, as you might remember. Either fists together, hold opposite elbows, or see if you maybe, a couple of us, probably not that many of us, have a prayer in our back. And then let's long edge of your mat. Glide your arms out of their position, and then just heel toe, because we've got a few props to move. Some of you move your chair, place it right in the middle of your mat so that you can use it for your hand in triangle. I'm going to position my blocks tall and to each side on the left edge of my mat. Then come back onto your mat, arms up to the side, much like we did with our warrior two. Step your legs as wide as some ankles under the wrists. It's kind of what we're looking for. Remember, it's not exact science. We'll figure it out as we go. Turn your right leg so that your right foot is facing that short edge. Cheat your back heel at a 45-degree angle. Now, it's very important that this is a hinge of the hip and it's not side flexion. So I'm just stepping forward to show you that with a little bit more visibility. Right leg is turned out, your back heel is at an angle. Hinge of the hip, reach long, and then place your hand either on your tall block or on the base of your chair. Spin the inner upper arms away from each other. Make it so spacious. Feel the big toe now of your right foot into the ground. So the muscles of your feet and calves and all the way up are easily fired. And then take your left arm and place the back of your hand on that sacrum, that square, that triangle at the base of your spine. Every inhale, grow a little longer, like you're standing in mountain, even obviously it doesn't quite look like that. And every exhale, just turn your chest gently, gently, gently towards the sky. You can look down if it's too much on your neck, or look sideways, or even look up. Make it your own. Remember, this is all about you. Last couple moments, just as we are. Even here, low belly lifting, definitely an hinge of the hip. Bottom ribs feel long, not scrunched or crunched. Bring your left hand onto your hip, firm through your feet and your belly, and bring yourself all the way upright. Turn all toes to face that long edge of your mat. Move, if you've got blocks, that block off your mat so it's not in your way for the second side. Turn your left leg out so that your left foot faces that short edge of your mat. Cheat your back heel at a 45-degree angle. Your chair should be pretty much in the right position. You may need to move your block a little closer to you. And then arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. A hinge of the hip as we push forward. Left hand on your block or the base of your chair. And for now, right arm to the side, thumb to the sky. Spin your inner upper arms away from one another. Make it so on that small of your back. Try to keep the collarbones smiling. Bend your knees like you're sitting in that chair, except you're not. You're sitting on nothing. And then straighten your legs. And it's tricky because it's tempting to collapse. So keep the smile, bend your knees, let the weight go into your heels. And then straighten your legs. We're going to stay a little bit longer this time in our chair. Bend your knees, sit back and down. Low belly is lifting, so we're not in a big, huge back bend, right? So it's not a dump into the lower back. Now, it might feel good to some of us to do the interlace and to drag those knuckles down towards the ground. If that's too much, or it's hard to get your hands together, just keep the backs of your hands on the small of your back. And stay, if you can. If it's too much, straighten your legs anytime. You can do this in your mountain pose, like we all did at the beginning of the practice. Last few moments here, just do your best. I know it's a long time in a chair that's not nearly as comfortable as this one out in front of me looks like. 2 more. And then slowly straighten your legs. Unlace and turn your palms out to the side. Inhale your arms out to the side, a V shape overhead. And then hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. So it's sun salutation. Inhale your heart forward, pause. This feels so good. Exhale, a little bit more hinge into your hips. And then inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, a V shape overhead. Pause, arms along your side. Adding on. Inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, a V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. And you're pressing into your thighs and feeling that little tiny bit of an upper back bend that we found with our arm positionings so far. You can use the base of your chair for this next part. You can use your 2 blocks tall for this next part. And some of you might want to actually move your towel or your blanket underneath your knee, because we're going to bring our left knee to the ground in a lunge. So step carefully your left foot back, lower your back knee onto your mat. If you feel that you need padding, give it to yourself. You might also prefer to keep your left toes curled under. That can be helpful. Take your hands onto your right thigh and stand up in our beautiful mountain-like posture. Now take your left arm behind your back and put the back of your hand in the small of your back, just like we did when we were doing our triangle pose. Right arm out to the side, front to the sky. A V shape, and then pat yourself on the back with that top hand. It's as if they're reaching towards each other to shake hands. Make sure that that left knee is okay. Your bottom ribs are going to try to collapse into a back bend. Let your low belly lift and imagine that your bottom ribs and your hip points are trying to move towards each other. And just breathe into all the feels, all the stickiness in your shoulders. Maybe you're feeling a little stickiness even in the front of the left leg. 2 more moments. Really great work. And carefully unwind your arms. Take your hands to your blocks or to the base of your chair and take your back knee off your mat. With your belly firm, step your left foot hip distance from your right foot, hands to your thighs. Inhale your heart forward. Exhale, a little deeper hinge. Inhale, rise and reach, a V shape overhead. Stand in your mountain. If you wish that you would put your blanket underneath your knee, this is a very good time to make that happen for our second side. A sun salutation takes us to our second side. Inhale the arms out to the side, a V shape overhead. Exhale, hinge the hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale, your heart reaches forward, and then either hands on the base of your chair or hands on your block. This time, your right leg steps back. Your right knee comes down onto the ground or onto your towel or folded blanket. You may want to keep the right toes curled under. Hands to your left thigh. Stand up tall. Feel a lift of the low belly. That's kind of easier easier to find here than it is when we add the arms in a moment. It's the right back of the hand on that sacrum, on the small of your back. And then left arm out to the side, thumb to the sky. Take your V shape, and then just do your best to pat yourself on the back. A well-deserved pat on the back. Now it's very tempting to do everything with our neck because it's already flexible, or low back because it's already flexible. Try to keep the low belly lifting, and imagine a little tangerine underneath your chin that you don't want to lose by jutting your chin forward. You also don't want to squish it with too much chin to chest. And then just be with it. Challenges and all. The rumbling of something happening is the good sensation. Sharp pain is something that we never endure. If it's sharp, we come out of it anytime. Last couple moments here. All right. Free your top arm and your bottom arm. Take your hands to your blocks or to the base of your chair and take that back knee off your mat. We're actually going to stay here. We have a different transition. I just want to make sure we have a moment with that knee off the ground because it's going to come back onto the ground. I'm now going to use my blanket and move my props aside so you can do the same. Blocks off to the side. I'll move my chair so you can see me. You may want to move your chair just so that it's not quite so close by. And then folded blanket it underneath your knees. Especially since we just did a couple poses on our knees, it might be nice to have a padding. Now, wrists underneath shoulders, so our hands aren't too far forward where we've got the shoulders and the ears or too precariously back, right? So hands, wrists underneath shoulders, low belly lifting. Step your right leg back and have your toes on the ground. This might be your variation of what we do next. It's fine. So just know that you can stop anywhere along the way that makes the most sense for you. Left arm forward, thumb to the side. So like you're shaking somebody's hand. Feel free to stay just like this. Maybe reach your left arm back behind you. So a little bit of that back bend, like when we interlace our hands in our mountain pose. Some of you might lift the right leg, possibly bend the right knee, and reach back as if you were going to hold on to that foot. Most of us are not going to reach the foot as fine. If you happen to with ease, remember no sharp pain. We're not struggling to do it. You're pushing the ground away with your right hand, and you're doing you, not trying to be someone else. Remember, this is all about the inward turn and not comparing and turning outward. Now really gently, left arm forward, extend your right leg back, place everything down onto the ground and take a child's pose. I like to turn my palms up to the side and then just make fists and open my hands so that I release the wrist that was on the ground. And then back to our hands and knee as we go. This time, left leg steps back. Right arm extends like you're going to shake someone's hand. Remember, it's wrists right underneath the shoulder on that left hand. You can stay just like this. Maybe you take your right arm back behind you. Possibly lift that left leg. Maybe bend that knee as if you were going to reach back and hold on, and most of us are not going to. If it's better, you can curl the right toes under that can help with balance. Low belly is lifting. There's no collapse into the shoulders. A very long and strong back bend. So that we can stand tall. Last couple of moments. A strong spine is a youthful spine. And then we'll extend right arm forward, left leg back, and then release it all down. Take that child's pose for a moment. You can turn your palms up to face the sky. Once you're lying down on your mat, feet hip distance and knees pointing up to the sky. Take a hold of the edges of your mat and then snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you. You might feel them winging out of it. Let them be flat against the ground. I like to feel, before I go anywhere, like I'm pulling my mat apart with my hands and even pulling the mat away from my head with my hands. And that might be enough for today. You can lift very gently straight up with your hips. It's the long and strong, not collapsing into our low back. You want to keep that tangerine under your chin so you get the natural curve in your neck. And then ease your hips back down onto the ground and pause for a moment. One last time like that. Pull your mat apart and pull your mat away from your head. And then just carefully lift your hips straight up to the sky. Low belly lifting, 2 moments. And then lower your hips to your mat. Let go of the sides of your mat. Cactus your arms out to the side. Scoot your hips to the left and let your knees spill to the right. Easy twist. Come back through center. Scoot your hips a little bit to the right. Let your knees drop over to the left and pause. Now come down the middle. You can keep your feet on your mat as wide as your mat. Just let your knees fall in on each other. Bring your arms alongside you. Snuggle the shoulder blades underneath you once again. Either stay like this or straighten one leg and then the other. Lying onto the ground. And into our final Shavasana meditation. Let your eyes close. Maybe even cover them. Find the ultimate inward turn. You're welcome to stay here in your final Shavasana meditation for as long as you like. If you're ready to start to make your way back, you can gently move your fingers and toes. Bend your knees and place your feet on your mat if they're not there already. Roll to either side. Use the strength of your arms. Bring yourself to any comfortable seat, and you can sit back on your folded blanket or on a cushion if you have one. Just pause to appreciate your practice. The smile of your collarbones and everywhere else. And wear this smile out into the world. I'm Andrea, and I thank you for practicing with me. I look forward to us practicing yoga together again soon.